Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Jeffrain. I'm the principal here at Loreto College and I'm delighted to welcome you on our very first virtual open day. Before I start to say any further information, you can see and hear me, but I can't see and hear you, so it's not an interactive, it's a live event as such. We have got on our website a dedicated open day page where you can see a range of information. It will include a short video from me talking to you about the college as a whole, and you can take a virtual tour of Loreto College where you can see the wonderful facilities that we have available to all our students now and when you come to us hopefully in September 2021. Within our open day page, you will have a range of information on subject and support area. The subject area will include fact sheets, so information about the subject, what it entails, but each subject also has a short video with our staff and students so that they will talk about the subject that you may want to do, and you can see the areas and all the wonderful facilities that we have for you, as well as your future students and your future teachers when you come to us at the college. We'll talk about the support that's available at the college, and again dedicated areas on the website on here, talking about the careers, the academic support, the library, the chaplaincy and a high achiever program. So a lot of information for you to take in a mixture of both live and recorded events. We have got our Open Day team is here today and they will be answering your question live. So you can ask questions throughout the morning and we will answer those questions, and we will publish the frequently asked question list so that you can see what other people have asked, and that will give you a lot of information that you may want to have when you start with us or before starting with us. So as I've said, a lot for you to take on today. We know how important the next step of your education is, and it is new for you and it is new for us this virtual day. So take your time, make sure you look at all events that we have live and recorded. Make sure you go on the open day page, make sure you do ask questions. We want you to be reassured that we're doing everything possible to support you before you start on the next step of your education, before you start at Key Stage 5. It is such an important stage of your life because it will decide what you do in the future, whether you go to university, whether you go to an apprenticeship, or whether you go into work. To the right of your screen now, there should be a chat button that you can use and start talking to us in terms of the question that you want to do, and make sure that you come back to us for the next live event part at 11:30 today. So at 11, sorry. Weather today, not the greatest in Manchester, but fear not, you're in the comfort of your home, so there's loads of things that you can do. Have a brew and watch what we have on offer for you, and we hope that you enjoy the open day today. We and I look forward to welcoming you in person in the near future and hopefully see you in September 2021. So enjoy the day today. Bye.
Hi everyone.
Morning, everyone. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that the link on this screen at the moment isn't correct. I've published the correct one in the live chat, but if you go to our website, you can connect to it anyway. It's www.loreto.ac.uk/open day. /open-day/. Thank you.
Hi everyone, we're just changing the slide that you can see, just so that you know the right link. I hope you're having a good day and it's been informative for you, but we're just getting the information back up with the right link. Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope our website. In just a moment, we'll. So
Hi everyone. We still seem to be having some problems with the volume. What we're going to do is put the link to the YouTube video in our chat momentarily, and you'll be able to get to that shortly.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our live question and answer session here in Loreto College's library. I hope you've had a good day. First of all, apologies for the sound issues that you might have experienced today. I hope you managed to go to the YouTube link that we sent you to look at all those wonderful videos from our students. I also hope you've had a good time looking around our campus map and our principal's welcome video and all the subject areas as well. All that content will remain there until 7 p.m. this evening, and we'll also be having another open day next Sunday, and we'll welcome you there as well. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to our panel to introduce themselves. Off you go.
Hello, my name's Andrew Pritchard. I'm Deputy Principal here at Loreto.
I'm Michael Jaffrin, I'm the principal here at Loreto.
And I'm Tracy Livesey. I'm the Director of Finance, Resources and Estates here at Loreto.
Fantastic. So we have had literally hundreds of questions coming through today, which is lovely, and we've had a team of dedicated college staff working away to answer those. But we're going to make sure we answer some more of those now, and I've just seen some more coming in that we'll get to today as well. So first of all, and unsurprisingly, coronavirus and the impact that's had on the college has been a big theme. So I suppose just over to Michael really about what we've done. I suppose March seemed a long time ago for everyone, and we're most of the way through the first half term. So could you just let everyone know, I suppose, how we've responded to the pandemic at Loreto?
Of course, yes. So we've worked very, very hard with our community of staff and students and our local community indeed to make sure that we basically bring all our students on site. And since we started in September, all the lower six and upper six are here at Loreto. We've invested heavily in PPE equipment because it's finding that right balance between delivering outstanding education whilst maintaining the safety of our students and our staff. So loads of PPE investment, we've increased our cleaning crew, and we've got regular message to all our students with regard to good hand hygiene, social distancing, face covering whilst on site at the college. And our mantra is to keep Loreto open. So by following all those rules, we've managed to keep the students open, the college open to all our students since the start of the year. And the feedback has been amazing, and it's something we want to continue for the rest of the second year.
Brilliant. It's worth noting as well that even we are social distancing now. Indeed, in the library, yes. As dictated. And questions following from that over to Tracy about classes. So if all students are back in, what if I'm a student and I have to self-isolate? What happens then?
So yes, as we mentioned, then all students are back on site. If a student has to self-isolate for whatever reason, then that student will be set work by each of their subject teachers to make sure that they keep pace with the students in their classes. And we are rolling out at the moment a trial for remote streaming of lessons through Microsoft Teams, and we've been investigating the technology and making sure that it's robust, and we hope to be rolling that out in the next week so that it will be ready for pretty much the after October half term.
Brilliant.
It's been quite interesting actually, because we've found that staff have really enjoyed delivering sessions in that way, but I think the feedback from the students has been brilliant. They've really engaged with it, looked forward to it, enjoyed it, and we've really found that students have really appreciated all the efforts of staff and felt that they've been able to keep up.
Brilliant. I mean, it's definitely been my experience of it as well. So just in terms of being on site, we're talking about students being off site. Today we've not been able to welcome everyone watching to the site. So will there be an opportunity for them to come to the campus?
Well, we'd really hope so. I mean, we do hope that today people have had the opportunity to get a feel for Loreto, do the research that they want to do into the various different subjects that they're interested in, and I would encourage all young people to continue to do that. But obviously, absolutely respecting government guidelines and following those, and helping to ensure that all of our college community and local community remains safe, we would take every opportunity that we possibly can to be able to welcome people back onto site, and we very much want to be able to do that hopefully in the new year, maybe in something like the summer term. So we would be welcoming people in to be able to come around and actually come onto site and meet staff and look further into the subject choices.
Yeah, if the situation allows us to.
If the situation allows us to do so, yes.
Okay, that's good. Michael, lots of people have said, do I have to be a Catholic to come to, practicing Catholic to come to the college as a student?
No, we serve primarily a Catholic feeder school, but we welcome all students of all faith and none indeed. So no, you don't have to be Catholic to come to Loreto.
Great, a nice and short answer, which means we can get through more questions. The application process, lots of people have asked about when do I apply, how do I apply, what happens if. So as head of our admissions, Andrew at the college, could you talk us through that process? How do they apply to Loreto?
We've sent out literally thousands of application forms now to various different high schools across Greater Manchester, so hopefully students should be able to find that application forms are sitting with their career staff in schools. If not, that's also not a problem, because if you go on our website you'll also be able to download our form and complete that. That form then needs to be given back into school so that your school can provide a reference for you, and then that form will then be posted by your school to ourselves at Loreto, and we will then look at that. Our intention is then to follow our admissions system as we normally would do, so we'll look at every form that comes into us and then go into interview time and all that careers advice that goes in there, advising students about what might be the best choice of courses for them, depending on what their interests are, what their skills and gifts are, and also what their career aims are, so that students join us next September on courses that they feel passionate and enthusiastic about and fulfil their career aims.
Thank you. Unsurprisingly, a lot of those questions have been backed up with, well, what happens if? I mean, we all know about what happened last year with this year with the results and CAGs, and so there's been lots of questions about mocks, entry requirements, what happens if, and there's obviously a lot of nervousness around that. So Tracy, could you just explain to us the entry requirements and, you know, where our position is with that in terms of what students should be worrying about? And I think, you know, I know that the worry is not going to be on anything but their studies right now, but yeah, take us through that.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it has been an anxious time. Our entry requirements for the college, for entry to the college are 6 GCSEs at grades 9 to 4, 2 of which should be at grade 6 and 2 of which should be in English, Maths or Science. Absolutely appreciate that students going into year 11 are concerned and anxious. Really, I think the important thing to do is to try and set those worries aside as far as possible and concentrate on their studies. We'll be working with our partnership high schools and high schools in the Greater Manchester area. We absolutely understand this will be the same throughout the country, so we will be working with schools to ensure that students that aren't as disadvantaged by the national situation. So please, I would say to students, just try and concentrate on your studies and you know, try not to worry about it.
Okay, that's good
If
advice.
I can also just add to that, I mean, in terms of applications, we do look at the reference that the school provides, and that does include predicted grades, estimated grades, but it's not the only aspect of the reference. So we do not put our entire emphasis on predicted grades for students when we're considering whether we would want to offer that young person a place. There's lots of other aspects of the application form where young people can explain to us why they want a place at Loreto and all the gifts and everything that they will bring to our college community. So I would absolutely echo what Tracy said there. Concentrate on your GCSEs, concentrate on doing your very best while you're at school, fill out the application form as you would have done in the past. Equally, throughout this whole process, we've been working very cooperatively and supportively with all of our partnership high schools, listening to the information that they're giving us, responding to that, and we will continue to do so.
Excellent, thank you. Michael, some students have asked, can I study 2 A-levels and a BTEC?
Absolutely, and I think that's part of the virtual day today, to try to give you as much information that we have in terms of our curriculum here at the college. So you can study, you know, 3 A-levels. For most academic students, you can actually do 4 or an EPQ, an extended project qualification. You can do 2 A-levels and a BTEC, or you can do an extended BTEC diploma, which is the equivalent of 3 A-levels. So we've got a range of options for our students to suit their study skills at the college. So again, I've said it this morning in my live introduction and in my video, just make sure that you have a good look at everything that we have on offer on the website on the open day, and anything you need, just contact us. Just don't wait for those big events. You know, we want to be able to help and support you. And one of the great strengths that we've had at Loreto is how quickly we've adapted and changed. in view of what's happening at the moment and how well we've communicated with our students and their parents and carers.
Brilliant. And it's worth noting, isn't it, that for people who don't know the difference between A-levels and BTEC, they are both level 3 qualifications, so that they are completely equitable to one another. So if you get a distinction star in your extended certificate BTEC, it is equivalent to your A star in your A-levels. And I suppose what people need to think about is the next step, isn't it? So will university, if you know, and it depends on the course that you're studying, doesn't it? And we'll be able to guide you with that as well. And we'll talk about interviews in a moment. A question just popped up actually about drama, so I'm gonna burst in. I'm the head of performing arts as well as one of the senior management team here. So the question is, I'm interested in studying drama at A level as I really enjoy it at GCSE, and I've heard that your grade might be affected because of other people that you work with in the group, because of work ethic in the group. I'm just going to address this by saying that you're giving an individual grade when you're performing, because you're assessed on your performance, and obviously given that it's drama, you are working with a group, and yes, that's very, very true, that in any setting, in any group work, there needs to be a teamwork and an understanding of it. It won't risk your grade because you are assessed as an individual, and of course you'll be given excellent guidance and instruction by a teacher. No teacher is going to allow a risk to be presented to your grade in any scenario. So that's an answer to that question. Moving back on to some others. Are we doing taster days? That came up as a question.
Well, our taster days that we would normally do in November have two aspects to it. There is the students coming onto site, and we also have a parents' conference. We are planning on running the parents' conference from a virtual perspective, but as I mentioned earlier, and equally as what's taking place today, we're not able to bring students onto site for the taster day as we have done traditionally. What we would like to do, and what we're hoping to do very much, is to be able to hold that in the summer term and actually get students on site. So all the information on our website will give students lots and lots of information about courses and what sort of type, aspects of that you study, and careers that can come out of those courses. But in terms of actually being able to bring young people on site, unfortunately we're just not able to do that at the moment, but it's what we're very much hoping to do next year.
Okay, thank you. It's probably worth mentioning as well that even if we had to live with a virtual version of that taster day, that we, through the first lockdown period, we created a system, our marketing event system, whereby every subject created an interactive lesson that students could engage with online. So even at the sort of very worst case scenario, it would be there in virtual
we can
means.
have an online taster day in that sense, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, brilliant. Medicine, lots of medics, very keen medics. Tracy, what do you need to study at A level to go on to study medicine?
Chemistry usually is the subject that the medical schools will be looking for, and then I would look towards some rigorous academic subjects. Biology goes well with it as well, but you can choose other subjects as well alongside that. What I would say is we have our medics, dentists and vets team here. So a team of staff that's headed up by Mr. Squires, and that team will help students who are looking to apply for these really competitive courses, so medicine, dentistry and veterinary science, and help students to work on their personal statements. They will help them work on mock interviews and so on and so forth in preparation for the BMAT or the UKCAT exams that students may need to sit in order to access those courses. So there's a lot of support for students who are interested in those kinds of career paths within the college, and they can access that from the moment they join the lower six if they're interested in those career paths.
That's brilliant, thank you. Another question, how many students are there at Loreto, Michael?
Just over 3,500 students. So as Andrea mentioned earlier on, we're very popular. We've got an outstanding reputation. So if you want to apply, you need to do it via your school, and obviously follow the key deadline that we have to make sure that you don't miss your opportunity to join us next academic year.
And just to repeat, that deadline is January the 8th.
January the 8th. Just to add to that, so we are a large college community, but we would always want our students to feel welcomed and supported and part of that community. So within that, we therefore create community within community, and we break that large number down into 12 halls, and each student becomes part of a hall and has a head of hall. And the head of Paul really holds in their hands the students' entire journey at Loreto and is their pastoral and academic guide and support all the way through their journey with us. So the students have always got someone to go with, and a smaller community of students who they can then really feel part of, really identify with.
Just on that, the tutors at the college, who are they? Who make up the tutorial team? Do you have obviously I know the answer, but do we have bespoke? Some colleges have bespoke tutors, and we do it slightly differently here, don't we?
We do. All of our tutors are teachers, and that means that when they're supporting students in the tutorial setting and the students talking to them about issues that they might be having with homework or balancing different subjects and so on, each member of teaching staff, who is therefore also a tutor, will understand that absolutely, because they're also coming in from a teaching point of view. So that means that the pastoral and academic support that the students receive is seamless, because all staff involved in it can see both sides and understand why it is that students might find sometimes that they've got challenges and struggles, but also therefore know best how to support each young person. So all of our staff are tutors, and therefore we find that that's the best way forward and the best way of also delivering in a very high quality way our tutorial model and our tutorial programme, because it's then taught to our students by qualified teachers.
Okay. Michael, some questions here about, can I change my course subject that I've enrolled for at the college?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously what we're trying to do is get our students to be settled as early as possible, hence today's virtual day, hence all the other things that we're going to do, such as this today, whatever format that we'll take. And just to mention again what I've said, we will adapt and evolve as the situation adapt and evolved. So we're trying to get the students to be 100% sure of the subjects they want to do, but we know there will be some changes. They might be linked to GCSE results, they might be linked to a change in career. So we looked at the first 3-4 weeks in particular and discussing with the students, with the heads of halls in particular that Andrea mentioned a minute ago. So students have got a one-to-one session and they can discuss the changes, why they want to change. So that's something that can be done, and indeed we adapted our system this year because of what's happened at the start of the year and that high level of anxiety and uncertainty. We made sure that we introduced new processes to reassure our students, to make sure that they were on the right course, ready for the next stage of their education as to college.
Brilliant. Lots of questions coming in. If you don't know for definite what you want to be, a career choice, how do you choose A-level options? It's a great question. Who would like to take that?
I would say start by looking at the subjects that you enjoy. I think if you don't know where you want to go, if you look at the subjects you're enjoying at school, perhaps consider as well the subjects that you don't study at GCSE that you might then want to have a look at as possibilities for your A-level choices. So have a look at the videos that the departments have created on the website today to give you some ideas of things that you might like to have a look at. But I think really, if you choose something that you enjoy, then that then motivates you to do well in your subject. And I think you've got the best chance of getting the best possible grades then. So I think that's where I would start.
Yeah, good. Thank you. And what's the average class size we've been asked, Andrew?
It does vary from subject to subject and even from year to year, but our average class size is something in the region of about 22.
Okay, and Michael, we've got a question. Do you have to take an entrance exam to get into Loreto sixth form?
No, this is in terms of coming to the college, it will be linked on your GCSE grade, and as Andrea said about the reference from the school as well. So these are primarily the two things that we look at, alongside, of course, high level of motivation to want to come to an outstanding college.
Tracy, do you have work experience within the college? This is an interesting question given where we are at the minute with our current circumstances, and I suppose we can talk about where we were and where we are.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, if we talk about where we were, in terms of for the BTEC subjects, we would try and look to engage students in work experience within those subjects. For the A-level subjects, then we encourage students to look for work experience, and we have a careers section within the college that can advise and point students in the direction of where to look. I wouldn't say there's formal work experience that is arranged for A-level subjects as such. Obviously, as things have changed over the course of the year, we are having to look at the arrangements for work experience for the vocational subjects, and that's something that we're looking at the moment, because clearly we can't have the same sort of arrangements that we had previously.
Yeah.
So
I think as well, students doing with aspirations to go on to do certain courses at university, also given a great deal of support around work experience. So around this, I'm thinking medics, dentists, vets, students wanting to go into nursing, teaching and so on. So the careers team are very strong on this and give a huge amount of support as and when it's needed for different students. It's all individualised.
Brilliant. What is the timetable like for the average student? I'm looking at Tracy for this purely because you are responsible for the timetable of the college, and also there's a question as a follow-up to that is the start and finish times of the day. Now obviously that has two answers given where we are, but Michael can answer that. So timetable, Tracy.
So a student who's taking 3 A-levels or a combination of A-levels and a BTEC extended certificate would have 3 subjects on their timetable plus tutorial and plus RE, general RE as well. And the way that the timetable is arranged, it's usually usual that for an A-level subject you'd have 2 long lessons, double lessons with a break in the middle, so a morning and an afternoon. So you might do maths on a Tuesday morning and then again on a Thursday afternoon. We have a tutorial.
Only if you've enrolled for maths.
Only if you, yeah, absolutely.
Not
make you
always,
go to
not
maths
make
if you didn't
everyone.
want to. And on a Monday we have a long tutorial session where the students will meet with their form tutor and engage with our pastoral arrangements here at the college, and as I mentioned as well, one session of general RE a week as well.
Brilliant. And just on the back of that, the sort of start and finish time of the college day, and then how we've managed that.
Yes, so we've mentioned we are a large college and we've got communities within communities, but we also very much can focus on the individual, and each student here has got an individual timetable. So the timetable in terms of the subject that you do and the time that you have will be different from everybody else. So the start of the day, we don't have all our students all arriving at the very first lesson. Some students may well come in later, so we've decided not to stagger the start of the day at this stage, and that has worked really well. For the end of the day, however, we've decided to make sure that we've got a buffer, so students come out in kind of 3 phases of 5 minutes apart, so that they can start going on public transport and not all of them coming out at the same time. And we've worked very closely with Transport for Greater Manchester, and they've been extremely helpful. So we've had an increased number of buses, so students are able to go on the public transport as soon as they leave college to go back to their home.
That's brilliant. So the college day would in general be 9 till 4, but you might not always have those times based on your timetable. And presumably, if you've not got a lesson, what's the rule?
So at the moment, what we encourage all our students to go in and study in the study centre to make sure that their time in college is spent studying, in effect, to maximise the time that they have here with all the wonderful resources that they have. If they happen to have no lesson and it's coming to the end of the day, that they encourage to go home. So it's again that balance between offering outstanding education and the health and safety of our students. We're trying to minimise the number of students on site at any one time. So if you're not in a lesson and you can't go to the study centre, then we'd encourage you to go back home.
And also for the individual preference of the students, and I know that some students, well, many students say to us that I really like the fact that I don't have a lesson until 12 o'clock, so I'll actually work from home and then
absolutely. We have this year as well opened up 2 additional study centres for students as well, so there's plenty of space, and we're here currently in our library, so there's 5 study centres now in the college and our library, so there's plenty of space to study on site if that's what you would prefer. But if you don't have your lesson starting till late morning, you're very welcome to study at home.
Great. There's a good question for you, Andrea. How do you split pupils into halls? And I would love the answer to be a sorting hat.
Unfortunately, it isn't a sorting hat. We look very carefully at how we organise our halls, because our ambition is always that each hall should be a reflection of the college as a whole. So each hall should have a mixture of students on different courses from different schools, coming to us from different geographical locations, because we draw from such a huge area of around Greater Manchester. So each hall really is a mini version of the college as a whole, so that gives students a really wide opportunity to make lots of new friends, meet a diverse range of people, and just experience Loreto College to the full.
Brilliant. Michael, there's been a few questions in based on what you said about changing the courses, and they said, how long do we have to change the chosen course I might drop? I mean, I know you indicated there that the sooner the better, that we want you on the right course.
On average, at the moment, we're looking at 3-4 weeks. Obviously, as things evolve, and again, depending what happens this summer, and hopefully everything will be absolutely fine, it will probably still be around that area. The important thing for us is to make sure that we talk to our students as soon as they decide to change courses, so that we can advise them and we can give them the deadline, which by September 2021 may be slightly different. Again, it's evolving as the rest of the world evolves.
I would agree with Michael there. I think most of the course changes do take place within 3 to 4 weeks. We still do have, and it peters off the longer we get into term. Obviously, when students settle, they're happy with the courses, they might have made one change by then, or perhaps made none. By half term, we have very, very few course changes, and really once we get to half term, we would say no more after that. And it's not that we don't want a student to join a new course, it's just that we are very conscious that they would effectively be half a term behind, so the impact for that young person trying to catch up would be huge.
Good question, Tracy. Just wanted to ask, are phones allowed in lessons? Great question.
Phones are, we would recommend that phones are switched off on silent and in bags. It may be that a teacher might do an activity that might require phones, in which case obviously they are allowed to be out on your desk, but to avoid distractions within lessons, we would say try and keep them in your bags and switched off.
Although given where we are currently, a lot of our students are increasingly using that with our Pear Deck, etc.
Absolutely, yes.
So with Pear Deck is a software that we've brought into Microsoft Teams with our lessons, so that we can make our lessons as interactive as possible, and that also helps that if students are at home, they can access that, because we know that for a lot of our students, they will have phones as sort of their main device as well. Lots of people say thank you very much, it's been useful. You're very welcome, I'm glad you found it useful. And I've just lost my question, sorry. Do you get UCAS points for taking part in the enrichment programme? I'll answer this one. Some of them, yes, but you just need to do research on that. The dance enrichment, if you enter for grade 6, 7 or 8, then yes, there are, but the amount of that changes. So please just research that as we go.
And we've got some really good link with universities, both local and at national level and international level for that matter, so we can again help and advise you on these.
Brilliant. Will there be any support classes? Great question. Andrea?
Well, yes, and we've started them this year, and we have a variety of different types of support classes. Some of those targeting students who need support in terms of being able to really achieve the grades that they're aspiring to. They could either be students who are currently working at an A and are aspiring for an A star, and also for students who are finding that courses much more challenging and are wanting to push themselves maybe from D's up to C's and B's and so on. So some of our support happens in that way, and we also offer individual support programs for students to be able to do remotely as well, and that enables them to be able to really review and look through all of lower 6 work if there's upper 6 students, or continue to review lower 6 work even while they're still in lower 6. There's a whole variety of different types of support that we offer, and students can also just go and speak to their teaching staff. Overarching all of the work that takes place academically and covering all of our faculties, we also have our Faculty of Academic Support, and they offer what we describe as our success programme, and that really gives students the skills that they need to be able to organise their study and think about what works best for them in terms of revision techniques and so on. So there's all kinds of different support available for students depending on what works for them, because we're very conscious that a one-size-fits-all really isn't as effective as individualised support.
And talking of being conscious, I'm conscious that we have 1 minute left. Michael, we've had questions about T-levels and apprenticeships. Do we offer those here at the college?
No, we don't. Our specialism is at A level and BTEC level 3 really. So that's what we are studying at, and we want to continue that way.
Okay, brilliant. And probably a suitable thing to end on is there's a question there about what's the best area of Loreto in reference to subject, and I think there's only one answer really, which is we're really proud of everything that we do as a college and that the college staff do. And please, everyone's best area is a subjective thing, isn't it? You know, I'm not a mathematician, but I do like theatre arts, and it's different for everyone. So your best area is going to be your own that you're excited by. I hope that this has been useful. We're going to have to call it a day now though, but I believe we'll stay on for a little bit to answer some questions in the Q&A, and we'll take all your questions. We'll produce some FAQs from that. So if you haven't had your questions answered, we'll try and pull those together as best we can. We've recorded this, so we'll put it somewhere on our website so that you can see it, but we would love you to come back next Sunday and we'll do all this again, and we'll answer a series of different questions for you, or indeed the same questions if you ask the same ones. But I hope it's been useful. I just want to thank you for attending. Please get in touch with us if there's anything else that you'd like to know. Thank you to our panel, for all the technical team, and to all our staff who are here busily answering your questions. I wish you a very, very good weekend and all the best from us here at Loreto. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you everyone for listening. We're about to end today's virtual open day. If you don't feel your question has been answered, we will be publishing our frequently asked questions very shortly. Thank you once again. Have a good weekend.